All right.
All right, Roy.
So Ryan, how's the show going this year? Did you like the Bill McMillian's announcements last night? And
I'll refrain from laughing out loud.
okay, what you like? What were your dislikes this year?
It's still, not enough people. What happened in the world of comedy? That's what I want to see.
Right. Well,
even twice as many people would have made a difference. But we didn't make anything at the show. We made a couple of web orders that had nothing to do with the show that paid for the cost of doing this.
Right.
But after paying for 5 different hotel rooms and paying for the booth and everything else, every show we do is a loss. Last year we had an $80,000 loss for me.
That's a chunk of change. Now, looking forward, do you feel that it's apparent that the Amiga 1 is going to come out, OS 4 is going to be out, so the hardware, the software is going to be out there. Do you feel that by the time the next shows come around and you're coming to the shows, is it going to be better? Do you think it's going to be better?
People may buy it.
Right.
But the question is, how many people are going to say when the Amiga 1 comes out with a G3, I want to wait for the next version? Everybody in the market today has an option to buy something, even something small from an Amiga dealer. And they say, I'm not going to do that because I'm waiting for something new. But what they don't think about is that nobody is going to be able to carry anything new if they're not around. All of these dealers are just basically giving up. We've had how many Amiga dealers in the past 2 years close? 12, 13?
Can't even count them all.
Well, you know what? So it looks like the times are changing, and I'm not going to say that it was not a bad 5 years. And it's gotten really worse if you compare this to the first Amy West that we had. It was packed. Absolutely. Last year was not a good year, and the year before that was pretty good.
I can't figure out if there are even as many people as there were last year here. It's hard to tell, but this show doesn't really have a big crowd, but the other Amiga shows that did are gone. The St. Louis show had 3 times as many people there, and they're gone.
Yeah, but I think they'll be back.
The only shows left are in Europe now.
Yeah.
Amy West,
I think
Expo. Amiga Expo,
yeah, but
Kermit show.
If Kermit has vendors and a higher attendance next year and doesn't hold it on Easter weekend, then maybe we'll be there. But considering they had, I think, 5 different vendors and 100 people there, it just wasn't worth doing.
Right.
The cost of flying and bringing people out by train and everything else.
Everything's going to change, though. I personally myself was really thinking that NUS was going to be the show that
I hope
the
so.
Amiga 1 was going to,
we can't release hardware products without an
if you
OS
look at the
to run.
timeline, it should have happened. It didn't happen. It made me bitter. But I know now it's like if it ain't out next year at the next NUS,
if someone can put together an operating system, we can put hardware on it. But without they can't even provide an operating system to us for us to test.
Yeah, they have one very hard thing to take care of.
We cannot, we're not making any announcements. We're not doing anything until we have something that we can test.
So you are gonna do the hardware when OS 4 is ready.
If they make an OS, if at that point we feel that it's still saleable, yes. But if it winds up being just another 1 year wait, it's not going to happen. There's no point.
What are the licensing issues going to be like? If you are going to make the hardware,
I have no clue. I don't think iTech
motherboards. Would you buy the motherboards from iTech and then put them in your own custom cases?
We would be working with another company.
Oh, okay. And then they would have to be Amiga approved, right?
The boards from iTech are not going to be fast enough to meet the demands of what we're about to put together.
Oh, so you're doing like more of the multimedia?
See, we still are the exclusive company working with iFusion in the United States. And at least our systems will guarantee Mac compatibility.
Okay.
And you can't have Mac compatibility without at least a G4. This doesn't make sense.
Okay, so if OS 4 comes out, which it is, it sounds like the way Bill talked last night, they're going to be under everybody's Christmas tree.
All I can say is what should have been done 2 years ago is they should have worked with a couple of the other companies that approached them. and taken the ideas and considered them instead of saying you have to pay us a lot of money if you want to do this, saying, okay, do this and we'll work out a split in the profits. But instead of doing that, the arrogance was, you did this without asking us, so we're going to make you pay a lot of money. They had options, they just decided not to take them.
Okay. And they it's a bitter war. I know there's some
I've talked
issues.
to different companies, and even Scala said that if the hardware platform takes off, they would be interested in doing a port. But if it doesn't happen, this was 2 years ago, so their ideas might have changed. But if it doesn't happen, no one's going to make software for it. No one's going to make libraries and device drivers for hardware, and it's going to be just another box that doesn't do very much, like Unix. I mean, you know, I can take a Unix and I can have a stable operating system that has a lot of different functions, but doesn't have any software. You know, so what am I going to do with, you know, at a Amiga 1 if the only applications I can run on an emulator now? You know, you have to see PowerPC based apps.
Well, hopefully there's enough hardware sales to drive the software development.
What really
It's a chicken and the egg situation.
The Amiga has certain graphics applications that are suitable for an introductory platform when it does not have an Office Suite. Over everything else, the biggest complaint I think people are going to have is there's no Office Suite for this. I mean, you have PageStream, but
Well, there's always
an Office
Star
Suite.
Office.
Excel spreadsheets.
Yes, but who's
Hey, maybe
porting Star
Microsoft
Office?
will write for the Amiga.
Microsoft is already canceling Mac Office.
Oh, are they?
They're basically, they said they haven't had enough sales, and if the sales don't pick up on Mac Office, they're going to cancel. They're charging $500 a copy for that. Do you want to go out and hand Microsoft $1,500 for an Office Suite because that's how much they have to make on it to make a profit? I know I don't.
What's your time frame going to be for the Amiga community to see your hardware come out once OS 4 is released?
To get it working on our hardware, probably a month or two.
Month or two. So
It's really not that big.
you might be looking for the new year then for Merlancia Industries, hardware and computers.
It's really hard to say because it's one big if after another. If they have an OS, if we can test it, if they're willing to work with us properly. I mean, let's face it, McEwen doesn't want to work with anyone that doesn't net him millions of dollars. He has that level of companies that he wants to work with. He wants to work with Palm. He wants to work with Scion. I mean, we had a chance to work with Scion, and we passed it on to him in it wasn't 99, it was early 2000, February, March of 2000. We had a contract with Scion to distribute the Series 7 in the United States with our own brand label. And we approached Amiga because we wanted to put their digital environment on it after they announced it. And they said, we have no interest in Scion, quote unquote. This was Randy Hughes. We have no interest in this. So what happens? A year and a half down the road, they approach Scion, and Scion screws them. So there you go. There you go.
Right.
Another missed opportunity.
If you have or would like to say anything to Amiga Inc., you have an opportunity because this is going to Amiga Inc. So if you have something you want to say to Amiga, now's your time to say it.
What I said to Amiga, I told Bill last night. But something that you might want to see. A little parody product if you didn't already look at it.
Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Get boinked?
Amy Porn OS.
This was done by a gentleman who licensed one of our applications called ImageView, which is a image library program.
Is that a joke or is that an actual?
That's an actual product.
And what's on it?
It's girls using Amigas and with various stages of dress, undress, and other.
Sweet! Should we get some screenshots of that?